ladies short program is finished here at Skate America for 2018. Hey everyone, Nick McCarville here, and it was a great night of ladies skating. We actually have the short program, or the short dance rather, the rhythm dance to come this evening, but welcome to the Bridgestone Ice Desk. We're between sessions here. We've got the music cranking. Let's check in on the ladies, and guess what? It's Japanese really ruling so far. Miyahara Sakamoto 1-2 and Marin Honda in 4th place. Sofia Semenarova, she's in 3rd place, and Brady Tennell 5th. Megan Wessenberg surprisingly in 6th place, a debutante here at a Grand Prix. We're live on Facebook, we're live on YouTube, and we want to hear from all of you. Don't hesitate to use that comment section because myself and my panelists here alongside me, we want to hear from all of you. Brooke Castillo, Michael Weiss, and Shanae Kerr, we're all here. We're all having a good time. The DJ has really cranked things up here tonight for us.
DJ Romeo.
Yeah, DJ Romeo's just next to us here. Michael Weiss, first off, great performances tonight.
Well, you meant that.
From you as well. From you, hopefully. But from Miyahara and Sakamoto, I mean, both of them, the last two skaters in that short program for the women tonight, really, really showing their best stuff, which we kind of hoped that they were going to do, and they did it.
Well, Miyahara has just been solid in practice, been solid. I mean, repeating. She's well on her way to repeating as Skate America champion. But all the Japanese girls were good. The entire event was a pretty good event, other than Brady Tennell's triple Lutz single loop, which came as a surprise to me because she's been practicing and been known very much as a consistent skater. But the Japanese skaters really brought it tonight. They're in 1st, 2nd, and 4th, so positioned well for the free skate for medals. And possible sweep.
Yeah, I mean, they certainly could. And Brooke, before we get to the highlights, surprised a little bit for Brady Tennell and what she wasn't able to deliver tonight. I mean, just the sense of that first triple, she maybe could have saved the combination for later when that first jump didn't go the way she planned, but just in the moment, it felt like she made that little bit of a mistake.
I mean, I think she was just a little quick going into the loop, and sometimes that happens. You just get a little ahead, and oops, you're like, what just happened to me? But I think she's still so close in the points that she is a great long program skater, and she can definitely make up.
She's only 3 points off the podium.
So she can make that up easily, and she's very well trained, and I think that you will see some of the weaknesses from maybe the other skaters in the long and not from her.
Yeah, and Shanae, we're going to talk obviously about ice dance to come here, the rhythm dance kicking us off. But Megan Wessenberg, how cool was that for her tonight? 20 years old, first Grand Prix, and she delivered a great skate. She's only 1 point off Brady Tennell in 5th place.
Yeah, I think that came from out of nowhere. She skated quite near the beginning of the competition, and we all thought, wow, that was a great skate. I don't think we realized how great it was until after the results came out at the end, but yeah, it's really nice to see. That's what these Grand Prix are all about. They bring up changes.
Yeah, certainly it was for Megan Wessenberg tonight. Let's go ahead and go with our highlights. First up, in 1st place, Satoko Miyahara. She skated last, Mike, but we saved, or excuse me, yep, this is Miyahara. That graphic wrong there, but there's Satoko, and gosh, Mike, she looked good from start to finish.
Well, she looked like she was on a mission. She was very calm, very collective. I really haven't seen her bobble on this combination. It's like triple Lutz, triple toe. I mean,
seamless.
There's just very little variation in what you see in that element from her. I mean, it's pretty much what she does is what she always does. The program was just well packaged, completely skated, and she put herself perfectly in position for the free skate.
I find her very enchanting to watch. I feel like when she skates, she kind of puts a spell on you. The entire arena becomes quiet. When we're watching this competition, we're kind of chit-chatting, talking about what we see, and when she skated, no one spoke. And I feel like that's every time she skates, it's like that.
Yeah, she certainly does that.
And
go ahead.
It's also an added pressure here when you're in an event like this where, her biggest competitors right now in this event are her fellow countrymen. So it's like an added pressure. She's not only trying to win a medal for her country here, she's really also trying to position herself so that she is the #1 Japanese skater of her own country as well.
Yeah, and I think before the show, or excuse me, the pre-show with Jackie Wong talking about how Miyahara was his favorite, when you look at their resumes, when you look at what they can do, I think we would all agree that Miyahara is the one that really, should she throw down the way that she can, she's going to emerge the winner here and defend her title this weekend. Let's go ahead and now look at Kaori Sakamoto in 2nd place, just 2 points behind her countrywoman. But Sakamoto, Shanae, she's just got this this aura about her, and she showed it in this program, which also, like Miyahara, was strong from start to finish too.
Yeah, she's such an easy skater, and so many of her components are so good. She gets really into her knees, so her footwork is exquisite, and she just has a beautiful poise about her. And that she smiles, and it's so natural. I think that she's just a beautiful skater to watch, and I think that the audience really reacts well to her as well.
Her triple flip, triple toe, I think, is one of the best in the business for the ladies. It's got so much spring and height to it. She did it there, great. I just kind of fell in love with her last year at Skate America. I mean, she's one of those where you just want to kind of grab her and give her a hug.
She
you
is
know?
just
She's
so
one of
cute.
those cute. And you know, it started last year and now this year with that short program. I just continue to like her even more. Every time I see her skate, I like her a little more and more.
I think we made this point last year as well, but she is a little bit reminiscent of Midori Ito. Just the way that she moves out there on the ice. There's something just different about her, and it's hard to pin down what that is. But again, she's just 2 points off the lead, and the leader is Satoko Miyahara. What about in third place? She actually skated first tonight, Sofia Samodarova of Russia, and this was I called it a tango, Brooke, but it wasn't necessarily the tango.
A flamenco, yeah. It was very well detailed, and was first to skate, and as soon as she finished her program, we were like, wow, this is going to be a really good competition. She was completely clean, she was confident, made it look easy, and her name stayed up the entire event.
How tough is it to skate first, you guys? I mean, it is. We talk about it in skating and being difficult, but is it that hard?
I feel like it's not necessarily hard to skate first because you're skating the same program no matter where you skate in the lineup. I think what's hard is that sometimes the scores aren't as good early in the competition. Unfortunately, the later groups tend to get better scores, so I think that can affect you. So if you do make a mistake, you tend to stay low. If you skate clean, you can stay up, but I don't think it's as easy if you do make a mistake to stay up in the standings.
Yeah, and that score actually held up pretty well for her throughout the evening. Also, another performance, we're not going to see highlights of it, but Marin Honda, she skated really well. The 17-year-old working with Rafael Aratunian, she is in that mix in the top 5. In 5th place is Brady Tennell. Let's go ahead and look at the U.S., the reigning American champion. And Tennell, Mike, that first jumping pass, that's really what caught her up, and that's why she's in 5th place.
Well, this is a new combination for her. She usually does the triple Lutz, triple toe, but she decided to go with a more difficult triple Lutz, triple loop, and it's a much more difficult combination, and just kind of rushed the takeoff on the loop, and then said nope, and turned it into a single. And you know, it didn't seem to affect her performance. I mean, but it certainly affects you mentally. You know, when the first element that you miss is your biggest one, it's your highest potential point getter, and you don't do it, it can affect you mentally throughout the rest of the program. But she stayed solid, and still, with that one mistake, still kept herself in the running. You know, with a medal, and even potentially even maybe a silver, maybe, you know, on the long shot. Be skating for a gold, but she just wants to come away with a medal here now after that short program skate.
I have to say that stylistically, I like this short program actually. I thought it was a bit different for her, and I liked a lot of the movements that she put into it, a bit more contemporary, and I thought it was more mature for her than last season.
Yeah, that's something that she said, Brooke, that she's really been working on that style
Yeah,
change.
and I actually was going to continue on what you were saying about the triple loop combination versus the toe. It's a lot harder to make adjustments for the loop. If the Lutz is off just a little bit, on a toe, you can kind of adjust and use the flow out to get up and use that right leg. But on the loop, if the Lutz is a little off,
Yeah, you have to be
can't
right
fix
over
it.
that landing edge perfectly in order to get a good takeoff.
yeah, there's a lot more room, a lot less room for air on the loop. So it's definitely much more risky, and that's why we don't see people do it.
And it was surprising to see her miss it. I really didn't think I was going to see her miss
Same.
it.
Yeah,
I
Yeah,
thought
and
she was
landing
landing
gonna
on
on
it's
skate
usually
it.
great.
practice,
Yeah, she's been hitting it pretty consistently, and she hit it in the warm-up. I thought the biggest thing was it going to be called under-rotated, but obviously that never even came to fruition because she did end up doing a single.
I talked to her after the short program, and she said that she was disappointed, obviously, in not being able to execute the way that we've come to see Brady do all the time. But you know that she's going to bring it tomorrow for the free skate in her Romeo and Juliet program. It does feel like Miyahara now has that lead, of course, has the grip on this competition with Sakamoto just behind her. For Samodarova, she's not a skater we're necessarily the most familiar with, And I'm really excited to see if Marin Honda can use that 4th place and try to climb up the rankings. That's happening tomorrow afternoon in the free skate. But let's go ahead and get to ice dance, and it's rhythm dance. So we've changed, we don't call it short dance anymore, it's rhythm dance. And this year, is it the tango?
Yeah, that's right. So the rhythm this year is the tango, and within that they have to do a sequence of the pattern dance, the tango romantica, which interestingly hasn't been done since 2010, Olympics 2010. So a lot of these skaters, this is a new dance for them, which will be interesting to see. So they've had to learn a whole new pattern dance for it. And I believe that there's a lot of difficult key points in this one as well that they have to hit. So it's going to be interesting to see how that affects the scoring in the end.
So this field is headlined by Madison Hubble and Zach Donahue, the American champions. But when we look at the tango, Shanae, is there any teams that necessarily benefits on the Grand Prix, or is it something, I think we were talking a little bit that this might not necessarily lend to Maddie and Zach that well?
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult to tell because they do have a smoldering chemistry between them, so you would think that tango should suit that. So I'm looking forward to seeing this program. I saw earlier on in the year at an international that they did, and I feel like it still had room to grow, but I think they can grow, so I'm really interested to see it here. I was speaking to the Italian team backstage, and they said that they're a couple in real life, and they feel that the tango really suits them, so that will be interesting to see too.
Guinar and Fabri,
That's
the
right,
up-and-coming Italian team. They could challenge Hubble and Donahue, as could Zagorsky and Guerrero, the Russians, right?
Yeah, and you know, with Zagorsky and Guerrero, they did really well last season, and I think that they'll be looking to come out on top in Russia as one of those big teams to know for the future. So that will be interesting to see it come from them too.
Okay, a lot to come with rhythm dance. We're running out of time here, but we're going to be right back here. We have a special guest in store for you after the rhythm dance. But for now, it's so long. You can watch on the NBC Sports Gold. You can also tune in right here on Bridgestone Ice Desk as we break down all of the rhythm dance just after the rhythm dance. Okay, see you later. Bye, guys.